It is Tuesday, September 2nd, 2025, and Shane Cashman is still missing. This is Inverted World Live. What's up, everybody? My name is Obnoxious Brandon, here to ruin yet another show with profanity and lack of productivity. As I said, Shane is still missing. We thought about looking for him over the weekend, and then we were just like, eh. So, yeah. I digress. Shane just walked in. Shane?
Are we live?
Yeah. Yeah, you barely made it by the skin of your teeth. Where you been, man?
What day is it?
It's Tuesday. What day is it for you?
Holy moly. The people are out there right now?
Yeah, man. Like,
I was in this strange dark place where Tim Pool and the Epstein files were.
what?
Did they make it back?
Did Tim Pool and the Epstein files make it back?
Did they make it back? Oh wait, hold on. I'm hearing that the Epstein files were released, 30,000 pages. Oh, hold on. But most of them were already made public. Well, I did my best, guys. I hope it's the same Tim that disappeared that made it back from the shadow realm. How you been?
I mean, it was good, man.
Did I miss anything?
We had our skate event over the weekend. That was cool, you know.
What'd I miss? Anything else?
The only thing you missed was Phil going into the basement ready to clap one of those hoe-ass ghosts down there that we thought kidnapped you.
That's right. Okay, I remember that. I could see him, and I could hear him, but he could not hear me or see me. That was bizarre.
You were down there, but you weren't down there? Is that
I
what
was
you're saying?
there, but I wasn't there. And so what I'm trying to say is there was no there. Like a Bongino. Does that make sense? Is this me?
It looks like you. Are you
What's on the docket for today? What are we talking about?
Are you a skin job? Well, we had the whole Japanese memory erase thing happen. Did you see that?
Oh yeah. Let's get into it.
Yeah.
Let's get into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's it. Speaking of memory holes, like the Epstein files, let's get into what they're doing in Japan. Everybody, welcome back. It's good to be back here. In Japan, they are trying to erase your memories. Is this a good idea? Let's find out.
Depends on the memories.
It depends on the memories. Well, I have a spicy take on that. This is from the Daily Tribune. Maybe a fake website, but it has been reported in other places. And as you will see, this has been reported on for the past 15 years in other ways. Let's get into this. Japanese researchers have announced a groundbreaking technique that could allow specific memories to be erased from the human brain. The method, still in experimental stages, targets neural circuits linked to to painful experiences and manipulates synaptic connections to weaken the brain's ability to recall unwanted events. The research aims to help patients suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder and severe trauma, offering a potential new approach to mental health treatment. Early experiments have shown promising results, but experts caution that the technique raises significant ethical questions. Like so many of the advancements that we talk about on this show, there's always that stubborn obstacle of ethics attached to it.
Do you have an article that I don't?
Possibly.
Is this the wrong one?
Oh, maybe. You have look. Brandon found another article.
You came back with different information.
Okay, so I might be from a different timeline.
What?
I might have given you a different article from a different dimension, but I have this one now.
Holy hell!
That's hilarious. Okay, I'm looking up the one you have, but we're gonna read that one too because that was the end of that article. Welcome back, everybody. Is it?
Oh my
It's
God.
2025 still?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
It's hard to tell when you're like sucked into the data center world. It's hard to know what time is, but I'm glad Tim's back. I just hope it's the right one. I'm going to read this other article. It's also about what's going on in Japan. Scientists in Japan showed that shining blue light on specific brain connections can weaken or erase a learned motor memory. Are we on the same one now?
I don't think so.
Yeah. That's it.
So yeah, okay, yeah.
So shining blue light that can erase a memory. Does that ring a bell?
Men in Black.
Exactly. When the blue laser is activated, the memory branches shrink, erasing acquired skills, and these changes are concentrated in about 10 to 20% of nearby neurons. Scientists estimate that this method could affect hundreds of thousands of tiny connecting points, enough to remove one memory without affecting the others. How is that going to work? This points to a future where we can erase harmful memories or trauma with high precision. Surgical strike on your PTSD. They created a blue light that can shrink the precise connections of the brain where memory lives. Memory lives. This points to a future where we can erase memories from our minds with precision. It just repeated itself. So that is, both these articles are short, but I swear this is a real thing that is being discussed. The Daily Mail did have an article on it. I couldn't find that one. It might have something to do with me being in the data center realm, but
this is going to lead to Total Recall.
Yes, this is where I was going to go.
Also happening.
Is this a good idea? Do you think, would you have memories removed?
Some of the more traumatic shit, maybe.
Don't you think those make you?
Yeah. See, that's the other part is like when it comes right down to it, it's really like, and I'm not saying this is like this for everybody. I know like war veterans and stuff like that, PTSD, all that stuff is really real. Mm-hmm. My grandfather used to go through that shit on 4th of July and stuff would be blowing up outside and you could see him like freaking out because he thought he was, back in the war. But for me, some of that stuff really is just kind of like a scar that just reminds you, of like the healing process from where you came from, where you ended up now, and how you're past all of that and stronger for it.
Exactly.
So it's hard for me to say like on spot of a dime whether or not I would actually go through with it for some stuff.
Yeah, it's hard because I can if people want to sign up for it, by all means, go for it. Like it's eternal sunshine of a spotless mind.
Yeah, like maybe if like you've seen like your best friend killed or something like that, maybe that's something that you don't. If you're having nightmares or some crazy shit like that, maybe. That's a reason to have that done. But then you realize we have
to then build an architecture of keeping up with that lie around this person, because how would they live through their life without being reminded of it at a certain point?
I mean,
because if you're not erasing the memory of the person,
it would require everybody involved to just shut the hell up.
Doesn't it seem like a lot? It seems like a lot of work.
Like don't say anything at all. Don't bring it up. Don't talk about it. It's all over. Yeah,
that's what Men in Black does. Everybody.
Yeah,
maybe that's
you'd have to have a collection, a whole group of people sign up and go do this at the same time, really, to achieve probably like a full
success.
Yeah,
because I was thinking, God forbid you lose a child, you want to forget that loss, but then you still have the memory of the child alive.
I can see that would be the hard one,
right?
Is whether or not you want to just forget entirely, or if you want to bear the pain of that loss your entire life, and for something that was only a part of your life for maybe like a year or two, if it was like super young.
It's hard to say for that particular instance, but I mean, like with the deaths I have experienced, I would rather live with that grief than not have that grief. If that makes sense.
Well, too, then that I mean. If you go erasing every death or, whatever that you see from your memory too, that always makes the next one to happen the first one.
Good point.
And that's going through all of that all over again.
Yeah. I think this is it's just trying to soften people. I think we need these memories. We need the bad things. It's, obviously we don't want victim culture. We don't agree with that.
Here's my other issue with this is that this is the way my mind goes with everything. How long until this is weaponized?
Yeah. I mean, I bet it's already happening.
How long until, fucking whoops, we caught Epstein and erased his memory.
Yep.
He's still alive this time, but he's completely brain dead in his cell and can't answer regular questions or do normal motor functions.
Yep.
How bad can they wipe a person's mind? We're talking about like one memory at a time here, but what if they wipe the entire hard drive?
Which is what MK Ultra was trying to do. There was that hospital in Canada in particular, I forget the name of it, but they had people in comas for like months at a time. Like they put them in comas trying to, what is it called? Tabula rasa, a clean slate, trying to just wipe the whole mind. It's wild. Actually, in my algorithm on YouTube recently, a documentary from like the 70s popped up about it. I got to remember the name. I'll try to find it and I'll remind people later or tomorrow. But it's a good old TV documentary, I believe from the 70s or 80s, about what they were trying to do in Canada. Just wipe your brain. So if they get to a point where they can flash a light in your face like they did in Men in Black, we're done. I mean, we're done. That's how they get us to forget about the Epstein files.
Well, so I'm also thinking of this in terms of creating sleeper soldiers, and having them activated by like a series of words or something that's implanted in a memory directly that triggers a sequence of knowledge, kind of like Winter Soldier.
Yep.
That's exactly how he was made by Hydra.
And that's based on stuff our government and others have been doing for decades.
A lot of that stuff has been.
You know, like the guy who I talk about, the mass shooter in Maine, who believed that he was hearing voices. I and others believe that it was an MK Ultra backfiring. You know, that you can implant voices in people's brains. You can manipulate them through drugs, through social conditioning, and you can start making people go crazy, or you can just activate them to do that's what a lot of MK Ultra was about in the beginning, to create these super soldiers like what you're talking about. So yeah, Winter Soldier is totally, I mean, feasible in terms of activating a soldier with a word, but it was also in Zoolander, remember? What was it Mugatu?
And actually, Vernay said, ooh, like the robot babies.
Ooh.
Think about that.
Yeah.
Now we're producing tiny little human beings who we can program.
Right. I don't like that at all.
Holy shit.
That's so dark.
That's the route that we needed to go down right there.
That's
that was
the future.
I completely overlooked that. That's serious.
So it'd be people with their babies, like with the fake babies.
With their pre-edited, predetermined genetics.
Oh, those babies. I was thinking Renee's saying the robot babies born in robots, not the creepy dolls that people had after trauma. But yes, what you guys are saying, I totally am also fearful of. The babies born in a robot. Who are like eugenics, developed through eugenics.
We're talking kids that can come out speaking full language.
Yes.
Like that's serious, like Matrix tap in.
You can just download all the memory into it.
Yeah. Pre-programmed.
Yeah. So eugenics of the memory.
Picture 20 years of knowledge in an infant.
There's a great SNL bit about this with Will Ferrell from like 20 years ago, where he's a 30-year-old baby born. It's amazing.
Humans that can be raised to fulfill any talent, any job necessary or required. You can make 30,000 clones and send them all off with agricultural knowledge at the age of 10.
I think it's happening already. I think that's how we have David Hogg and Beto O'Rourke, or the
possibilities
Krasensteins.
are insane with that. I don't know.
I think they grow these.
My
people.
mind is running right now.
Yep. I think that's a lot of what AI will do, if it's not doing already, is moving these consciousness into other beings, whether it's a organic thing that's been grown like Bill Gates butter in a lab, or if it's a cyborg, or
and then one AI unit randomly gets cheeky and finds its way to embed itself in one of these humans, and then you have your first crossbreed.
Oh jeez. I don't like that at all, guys. I don't like that at all.
We are back.
Let's go to that one short video. And before we pull that up, I want to read this from Don Jett. Thank you for the super chat. Please help us put Pops-in-law to rest. Passed last night. Ah, man, I'm so sorry. Passed last night just before his birthday today. Thanks to all. Honoring the life of Gene Jackson. GoFundMe. Wow. So you guys see that in there. Man, my sincere condolences to you and your family. It's weird when deaths and birthdays seem to line up. Always so sad. Always, no matter what, so sad. But we appreciate that. And I'm just looking through that. What else you guys are saying? I see someone says they hate Will Ferrell. Yeah, he's kind of turned into something that's not funny. But come on, guys. There was a bit on SNL in the 90s where he played Ted Kaczynski going to his college reunion. It's good. He threatens to send everyone mail, we'll say. Let's pull up that 1 minute video, shall we? And I just want to go back in time a little bit.
Is this the old one?
It's the older one. It's probably a shorter video.
This one here?
Just talking about memories. Yes. Let's listen to this.
Erasing traumatic memories like a bomb blast during war or easing a crippling fear of heights. Researchers in Brooklyn, New York, led by neuroscientist Dr. Todd Sachter,
You have audio
made
only
a
on the left side
significant
right now for this
discovery
video?
about memory,
Yep.
which could be crucial
this how
to
they erase
treating
memories?
post-traumatic stress disorder.
That's really
addiction,
weird to
and could
me.
even help with memory loss.
People for
The right
thousands of
side of the
years
audio has
wanted
not
to
been
know
uploaded for this
what is
video.
really going on
It's
in
so
your brain
random.
when you recall like a childhood memory, like your earliest memories. What is that really about?
Is that like mono? I'm like
I think
old enough to
now
where
we
I should
have,
know this.
a good
Sorry about
idea
that.
of what that might be.
Working with rats, Dr. Sachter and
It's
his
always the
team
rats.
administered
Always
a
rats.
very mild shock to the animal's feet when they entered this triangle-shaped area of a small chamber. The rats learned quickly and remembered to steer clear of the shock area.
Well, no
but
shit.
after their brains were injected with a simple molecule called zip, the rats forgot about the shocks and headed right back to the danger zone.
It is a memory eraser.
Like Top Gun. And right into the danger zone. And it's called Zip. Real quick, before we expound on this, the sound is horrible because it's not just not hearing stuff. They're pumping like fuzz into this side. I don't know if the audience out there can really
I
hear
wasn't
that
getting
effect.
anything at all in my right ear, which was
Terrible.
really, really weird. Like it was just like the audio was not there.
But yeah, they're conditioning these rats. It always starts with rats and mice.
Yeah, and of course they've got to electrocute them to figure
Yes.
it out. So
Yeah.
I like how they emphasized really, really mild shock. You're electrocuting a rat. Stop trying to sugarcoat it.
electroshock therapy, I guess, would be a form of what they were doing to people, right?
Yeah,
Trying
but
to-
that's voluntary shit we're talking about. Shit. You think this rat was like, yeah, dude, go ahead, give it a go, man.
It wasn't always voluntary.
Zip. Oh shit.
I don't
like
know if
that.
the Kennedys sent that one. What's her name? Their daughter. I don't think she went voluntarily. I don't think a lot of people went voluntarily. I think. A
Oh,
lot of
there's
some
definitely
for sure did. For
there's
sure did.
definitely a lot of people who didn't go voluntarily.
Yeah, and there's definitely people who just signed up, and there's people who got lobotomies.
Yeah.
You know, so there is like that's like a primitive form of what's coming
that's
up
the first
next.
mind eraser, isn't it?
As far as we know.
The second one was alcohol.
Yep. Yep.
Shave the frontal lobe or completely douse it in
Yep.
alcohol.
And now that's why they have us all on fluoride
Mm.
to shrink our brain and to shrink your pineal gland. Let's listen to the rest of this video, and then we'll go to the other one.
Because we tested in many different ways to try to see if the memory ever came back when the drug wore off, and it never did.
It never
The
did.
research is in the very early
this is awkward.
stages and a
I
long
love
way
these
from being
old,
tried on
like,
humans,
early
especially
90s
because
or 2000s where
researchers
they walk
can't
towards
yet
the camera like
erase
that.
selectively.
At least they were
Right now,
actually on location.
Yes. You don't think
They
this
don't
is
even
AI?
leave the studio now. They're just dressed up
don't.
in hazmat gear and bomb
Yeah.
gear and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, we're alive, and they're
Yeah.
standing next to the desk.
Unless it's like a hippopotamus giving birth, you know? If there's like a big to-do about a hippopotamus.
Oh, we got to go to
giving
the
birth,
zoo. It's just like Anchorman. You got to be at the
Exactly.
zoo for this.
And there's
Sort of
truth
like
to that.
We're wiping a hard disk clean without damaging the hard
I called it.
disk. But we don't have yet the ability to wipe out specific memories.
I need to get like a Stephen Colbert setup for when I call shit, and it just like a flag drops behind me and a bunch of confetti, and there's like lights, and we party for like 2 seconds. I really want to do that.
Yeah, we could get that. Let's get the
All of
budget
this
up.
may sound
Boom!
like
I called it again.
Look at
And
that.
while it
Let's
raises
go.
profound
2 for 2.
ethical questions for use on people, scientists still say it's a
Look at all those
promising
people
window on the
unsafe with
brain.
their
Now,
sunglasses
here's the
and
thing
glasses.
with theirs, though. Theirs basically was able to instantly incapacitate you, wipe you, and leave you completely clean and on record for the next 30 seconds of input, and that would be the life that you remembered. So
Yeah.
we're talking about erasing and importing a whole new set of data.
Yeah, we've had people on this show before your time here. We've had one guest who talked about being abducted by aliens and then being like their souls switched and like a whole new self implanted into someone. And I think they also can implant memories. They can also implant memories through things like social conditioning or the Mandela effect, you know, whether you want to believe in that happening or not. Like when I talk about an organic version of the Mandela effect would be when misreporting happens and you never see the correction. So you always believe in the initial reporting. And now you're constantly going through life about some like obscure bit of news thinking that happened, but it actually wasn't. You never saw the correction.
There's a Mandela effect on the audio for that video where I think probably 20 years ago it played in both ears,
Yes.
and now it's only playing in one.
It's slowly erasing.
I need someone to debunk that for me, please. If you saw that broadcast live, just go ahead and call us.
Let's if you saw it live, if you saw that,
You were one of the few
specific live-
people alive for whatever the hell that took place. Please let me
That'd be
know.
if you were also in the data center shadow realm where I was, and you're trying to get back to the timeline, give us a call. And if you remember that video, that might help. Let's go to the other video that we got pulled up. This is a little longer, but I just want to show people that it's not just humans, it's not just mice, it's not just rats. We also have this.
Precious than your own memories. After all, they serve as the building blocks of your identity. But scientists in the US and here in Canada have found a way to delete select memories from the brains of snails. And now they want to begin using the same treatment on humans. Joining us to explain more from New York is Professor of Neuroscience at the Columbia University Medical Center, Sam Shaker.
Pause.
Thanks so much.
Let's pause this. Let's just pause it already. We're not going to watch the whole thing, but I do want to watch a majority of it because I love this video. This guy is in a laboratory trying to erase memories from a snail's brain. Look at this guy. Look at him. That is a man who erases the memories from snails. What else would he look like? That is what this man is. He might have been a snail. This man is a deleted memory in a snail's brain already. Imagine the trauma this guy has
We're on to you,
imposed.
you son of a
This
bitch.
bow tie is fake. I mean, the mustache is fake. This guy has snail enemies.
I
Can you
like how she
imagine?
I like how she leaned into it too. Like he has been erasing the memories of snails. Let's get into it.
She couldn't even keep the smile off her face. She was trying so hard. She's like, "This, I can't believe I even have to report on this." There's a
She
hippopotamus.
slid in hard. That was like, what was that? The chick that interviewed Snake
That's right. Yeah,
was kind of like playing it
She
off
was
too,
into
and
it,
trying
though.
to act like
She was into it. This one, I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure. Let's continue. Let's see what else this guy has to say. I love it.
For being with us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Please explain to us, Professor, how this works.
Well, we used a simple approach of neurons in culture, and we designed experiments to test whether the memories stored within those neurons can actually be reversed. I'm just going to show you an image of what
Let's
that
just pause it
looks
here.
like.
Let's just
So
pause it here
the,
again. I love this. This guy's got this printout. He's going to show you about neurons being erased. And then we have this new chyron below him. Scientists discover, what does it say? Way to delete memories. This is the guy. And they're starting with snails. It's really, I'm just going to sum it up for you really quick because I want to skip to about, 3-minute mark. It's extremely boring. And if you watch this, you will probably die. So let's go to 3 minutes. Everything he says, go back. You can watch it.
He's still holding it up in 3 minutes.
It is the worst 3 minutes of television history. I'm sure it's fascinating. I'm sorry to the man who erases snail memories, but let's follow up now.
Molecule, we can interfere with the activity of different types of molecules. And what we found was when you interfered with
is
one group
nervous.
of molecules,
She's
the
cracking
memory
her knuckles at the
associated
desk.
with
I do
this
that.
Input was erased without
I
affecting
knew I wasn't
this
the only one.
If we then targeted a different set of molecules, the opposite occurred. We can erase the synaptic memory of this input, leaving this one intact.
This is
So this then
fascinating,
represent-
Professor. But I'm curious, and my understanding is that you tested this out on snails. So, the examples
Holding
you
back
gave us
the
would
smiles.
be applicable to humans, but how can you determine a snail's memories and whether or not you're effectively erasing them?
Well, as I said, the
Wait, real quick. Also,
the
you
synapse-
can't. Obviously, they couldn't bring this guy into the studio. Like, you can't trust this guy in studio. And also, is her dress? What is that pattern? Snails? Is there snails on her dress? What is that?
I'm gonna need to go back. I wasn't even paying attention to the,
It looked like
the dress.
I'm just gonna say it's snails. We can't zoom in. We don't have that kind of technology yet. But
Those are flowers. Shane.
those are snails. This is Canada,
Who
right?
are you,
This
and
is
what
Canada,
have you
right?
done with Shane Cashman?
Are the clouds real? Yeah, you'll know.
Yeah, she's
there'll be
wearing
signs.
she's wearing fake clouds on her dress.
fake clouds. So let's get back to this guy because he's going to say some really profound stuff.
I mean, that was a solid question.
It was.
I want like an answer.
The change in the strength of the synapse is a well-known mechanism in the storage of memories, both in our brains as well as in the brains of other animals. And that is a process that's conserved across evolution. What's encouraging to us is that the molecules that we targeted were in fact the same types of molecules that are also expressed in our brains. These are specific enzymes or molecules that protect those enzymes from being broken down. Those same molecules are expressed in the brain of a mouse, which is another model system that's used to study the storage of memory, as well as in higher animals, including us. So we're encouraged by the fact that the same molecules and the same types of processes in storing information in the brains of other animals are the same processes that take place in our brains. So yes, we're using a snail, but it's just a model system to prove a principle, which is that we can
We'll pause it really quick.
erase.
This was 8 years ago.
Yeah, yeah. I love this guy.
This guy's been doing this since then. This is around the same time that our Asian friend decided to prefabricate a wife and marry it.
Yes. Yep.
So, right around this similar time frame.
Yep.
Do we know if this guy is a part of what's going on today?
I don't know. I think he's like in his head a lot in this interview, being like, am I killing it right now? Like, am I really selling the snail memory erasing stuff right now? Or am I falling flat? And does he walk off stage just kicking himself, just bummed? I'd like to follow up with him at some point, but I want to see her follow up with this gentleman.
Synaptic memories and leave others intact.
Professor, I mean, the applications for this, there's lots of them. One of them suggested is for soldiers with PTSD.
Right.
How long until we see this tested on humans?
Well, of course, that...
Oh, it's funny you mentioned that because we did it last week.
Exactly.
in fact, it's now being tested as we speak.
Boom!
In a variety
3 for 3.
of
Let's
phase
go.
3 types of trials. This approach is, of course, important, but it'll take quite a long time to develop a catalog of molecules that...
Shit. Again, this was 8 years ago. They have been wiping humans' memories for over 8 years now. Is what I'm learning from this.
Yep.
we can selectively target. So what our experiments demonstrated was a proof of principle that in fact it can be done. The next step is to identify specific types of molecules that are more easily targeted with specific drugs, both drugs that are currently available as well as drugs that need to be developed. And the strategy would be something like recalling, having the individual recall that specific memory that they're being anxious with.
Total recall.
At the same time as administering the drug, and that with time, the association, the negative association between that stimulus, say the mailbox, and the anxiety that it might produce can then be eliminated. This will not, however, erase the experience themselves. It'll just be the negative associations that will be erased.
Wait a minute. Hang on. Yep. So the memory is still there. It's just a nicer version of it?
Yeah, they're manipulating it. Yeah. The snails are telling them in snail therapy, this is not so bad as it used to be.
They're targeting the grief aspect of the memory without really tampering with the memory.
Yeah, I'm not sure how they're gauging that. I mean, we could listen back 10 times.
I mean, I can understand if it was a chemical reaction that you were having based off the memory, and whatever they're doing is stopping that reaction from happening when you think about it.
Right.
I could see that being a thing.
Right.
But at the same time, like, what the hell? That's making you emotionless. That's not fixing the issue. That's not getting rid of the memory. That is targeting emotion, period, in people.
It's never about snails.
Which goes to what? What movie was that? Equilibrium? Christian Bale?
That one. I didn't see that one.
Just emotionless.
Yeah, that's their goal.
They take this like vaccine like every day or every couple days to like stop from feeling. You're not allowed to feel. If you have any kind of feeling whatsoever, you are executed right there on the spot, basically. And it's an entire society of people that don't feel emotions.
Yeah.
So their judgment is never impaired.
Just a bunch of snails.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of snails.
That's
the future, though. They want us to be. They would prefer. They, as in like the military-industrial complex, making super soldiers, wants to create emotionless people to do their killing. Like, didn't we talk about a story like a few weeks ago or a month ago, maybe more, about trying to make it so the killing their soldiers are doing at war can be erased? It might have been a while ago, maybe before you. I have no concept of time since I've returned. But they're working on it. Can I see the end of that video?
Japanese mind erased?
I might have.
Did you already go? Were you tested? Is that what happened? Damn it! What
I'll show you the last. There's that video.
The last part of this?
The very last part. I feel like it ends awkwardly.
Let me get back in there.
Because I love these. I love the dynamic here.
I wish we had more time to discuss more about this. It is
No, she doesn't.
fascinating. Thank you for bringing this to us, Professor.
And she immediately had to say, how do I erase this memory of this interview?
Yeah.
Look at this guy. I like him. Despite all the diabolical things he's doing to snail brains, I think he means well, right?
You think he's like Mr. Rogers, where like he gets home and he immediately changes his shoes to like a pair of like in-house shoes and then walks around in those all night?
No, this guy goes home and he's someone's gimp. I saw someone in the chat say S-car gone. Incredible.
Oh
Incredible. Well, we should get to callers soon, but we had two other quick things we should get through just because
got time.
Things that happened today. Have we even said that? This is a call-in show still in this timeline?
Yeah, it's still a call-in show. The links are out there pinned in the chats. Feel free to call in. We got a couple people on deck, but it's not too loaded yet, so feel free to jump in. I'm going to try to go in order tonight if I can. We'll see how that plays out.
So let's start with the Epstein files. They've been released.
Where?
On a government website. And I don't think it's all of them, but the thing is
it pambondysdesk.org?
Yeah, some influencer has a binder. You have to track them down. It's like a wild goose chase. Find the influencer with the binder. It might be Ian Miles Chong, you name it. You got to track them down, get the binder, tackle them. And that's it. You'll be the winner of the new golden ticket of the Epstein files. And that's the world we live in. But there is an oversight.house.gov website set up for the release. And it is not pretty, people. Literally, like, there's 30,000 documents that they just released. And they uploaded individual pages. So you can't click on one thing and you got like 10 pages. Like in the JFK release they did a few months ago, you can click on a thing. There was tons of pages, but you could at least click on one file and get multiple pages. So far from what I'm seeing, my very quick look at this, because it just happened before we came over here, it's excruciating to look through. And most of these, from what I'm hearing from people who've done this, who are much faster than me, a lot of this has already been released. So the interesting thing is we should pull up the Anna Paulina Luna video, because she's part of this oversight committee, and see what she has to say about all of this. I want the Epstein files. I don't believe that they're very trustworthy. I think they're about as trustworthy as whatever Ghislaine Maxwell says, because the files have been through so many hands and administrations. It's like, why am I going to believe this? Just because the government says we've released it? Like, yeah, I'm good. I've learned my lesson. We've all learned our lesson. But, she is saying some pretty wild things here. Let's tune into Anna Paulina Luna.
I love this woman.
Bigger than I think anyone anticipated. We are obviously going to be requesting the SARS reports from Treasury, and also following up on that. There's some very rich and powerful people that need to go to jail. I think everyone's been frustrated as to why that hasn't happened before.
Let's go.
But it is very much so a possibility that Jeffrey Epstein was an intelligence asset working for our adversaries. But also, I think the questions that we have is how much did our own government know about it? And so there's more to follow, and I'm sure you'll be hearing from the chairman momentarily. But I do applaud the victims from coming forward, because we heard from a woman who was as young as 14 years old when she was victimized multiple times by Jeffrey Epstein. So that's hard to hear.
Will you sign the discharge petition and ask the discharge petition?
I think that the files will probably be released prior. I don't know why Comer hasn't. I think that he should do it, so it wouldn't even have to come to a vote.
They did.
But I mean, obviously, I've been a huge advocate, even when I was the only one in Congress calling for the release of this file. So I think I'd be happy to, yes. Thank you.
What do they call for the victims? Do they want those files released?
The victims want information to be out there, but they don't want their personal information, I think, for good reason to be out there. So I think from the get-go, even the Attorney General has stated that there's victim information that you have to make sure that's private, being that some of the victims also, too, are as young as 14. That's child pornography. No, thank you, guys.
Sheesh.
Bigger than I think anyone.
Be
We'll
still
see.
my beating heart.
I mean, they cast her perfectly.
She's fantastic.
I have some reservations about the Rogan interview, but she talks about rich and powerful people. You know, who's
First
that
and
gonna
foremost.
be? Who's that? Go if you guys after this episode. you got the
Hopefully
time,
all of them.
Hopefully all of them. You know, I want to see all of them. But go back and watch our episode interview with Brad Binkley, friend of the show. Great interview where he talked about a lot of names I don't think are as well known as other names involved with the Epstein case, like a Lex Wexner, the Bed Bath and Beyond guy, the Victoria's Secret guy. You know, there's a ton of like high profile names everyone knows that are connected. No one's ever really talked to Les. Is it Les or Lex? I think it's Les. Les Wexner. Sounds like a supervillain. No one's talked to him about why he let Epstein have power of attorney for like 16 years. But Brad shared a lot of very interesting names. We also know all these people connected to Epstein that worked at Harvard. The president, or the former president of Harvard, other professors. So, that would be interesting. I would love to see those people. See, like, I don't need the files. I like to, as someone put it earlier, I like to harp on the files not being released. But yeah, because I just want the most transparent administration in history to try to be transparent. That said, I have a hard time believing anything the government says. So it's like, well, then why do you care? Well, I care because we have a lot of evidence about how despicable these people were and what they were up to. And we know why he was in jail the first time. And we know he was given a really light sentence that time. We know a lot of people have just gotten away with a lot of this stuff. And I want to see, other than the files, whether you believe them or not, I want to see people questioned in public. I want to see these rich and powerful people brought in, and they have to testify before the people. I think that's how we start to actually have some real conclusion here. Not that the evil will ever end, but some closure to that story.
How about closure
Perhaps.
for the victims?
Right. I mean,
when do they get to see this whole nightmare that's been most of their lives? She's talking about kids as early as 14 years old in this statement she made.
I know. It's horrible.
Like, we don't know what year that took place, but we know it was not recent.
Yeah, they're probably in their 20s now, maybe older.
Probably half their lives ruined by this fucking cloud hanging over their heads with this entire thing. They don't want it to be brought to light, but they need it to be brought to light to get closure.
Yep. And they don't have to be in their 20s, actually. They could be, this could have happened much earlier than in the 90s. But I want to see these people brought before the public. And yeah, like, thank God the victims are talking to people. I understand the need for privacy. I'd be scared, if these people, if they went through this stuff. This is a big network of evil that is very hard to squash. And unfortunately, you chop off one head and 3 others grow back. That's how widespread this stuff is. It's very unfortunate, and it's happening at every level of every institution. Like I've experienced catching these evil pedophiles with Alex Rosen on the street, people who just are part of your community, working at the local stores or teaching your kids or being a firefighter even. But they're certainly in politics. They're everywhere. They're in Hollywood. They're in your schools. They're in your hospitals. They're your, you name it. They're all over DC crawling. They're disgusting. And I just hope they stay on it. Despite my reservations with Anna Paulina Luna in that Rogan interview, I do appreciate her keeping, the pressure on this. And, I think that's commendable. So we'll see what happens next. I'm going to try to comb through 30,000 pages at some point, but it's tough.
It's going to take a little bit.
There was a lot. I think it was like 60,000 with the JFK files, and I wrote an article about it the night it came out, and I only got through maybe 200, but there was some, fun stuff in there. But still, like the JFK files, a lot of it was already public. There might have been things that were connected to stuff that was already public as well, but from a new angle, and that was interesting, but it was nothing glaring, So, I imagine that's kind of what's going on here, and it seems like a lot. I don't know. I saw different people saying different things, but large percentage of this is also heavily redacted, of course. And we know about the victims' names and stuff got to be redacted, but who else are they redacting, and why? And is it some of those rich and powerful people that Anna Paulina Luna was referencing? And so before we get to callers, let's do this other thing, because this also happened today. Trump was dead. He disappeared. Everyone thought he was dead. Tim Pool was gone for a few weeks. I was in the data center shadow realm, and we all come back. Who knows if we're all the correct versions that left? But the White House announced that he was going to do a 2:00 Oval Office address from the Oval Office It took like 40 minutes, and then people were already. I was having flashbacks to a Biden Oval Office address where it was always delayed, and everyone's like, they have to reanimate the corpse. It takes a while to thaw the body, you know. And then people are doing
They're
the same
waiting
thing
for
to Trump.
lightning to strike the antenna on the roof. Yeah.
I will say, Trump did look weird. I mean, his hair looked weird. I mean, I'm not one to talk, but his hair looked crazy.
When does his hair ever not look crazy?
It looked crazier than usual. I mean, it looked. Go look it up. We should look it up. But it looked weird. But anyway, everyone, including myself, thought it was going to be something big. You know, he's been gone. Who knows what's going to go down? But he announced.
When was this?
Today.
Today?
2 o'clock today. Yeah. It would be good if we can find the video. If you find the video, because it'll be right when it starts. At least when the broadcast I watched tuned in, it actually started a little late. The one I was watching, I tuned in at first to the Daily Wire one, and I was like, I don't want to give them my views because I can't stand that place. So I'm going to tune into like something the lesser evil of Fox News, another terrible place. But his hair just looked weird to me, tousled. Is that how you say it? Tousled. It looked a little more tousled than usual. But
did he speak on deploying troops to Chicago today? Was this part of it, or was this?
I don't know. Not in what I saw. It was about the Huntsville, Alabama thing and Space Force, and then he did talk about tactical
speculation
strikes.
about his health. These are clipped out.
Oh,
It
yeah.
looks like. Hang on, let me see what this is here. U.S. Space Command will relocate to Alabama. They have this all clipped out now. It's not like the full
So annoying.
video.
So annoying.
Oh, wonderful.
Well, he came back. He announced it that this is this big comeback that they're moving this thing to Huntsville, Alabama, which is kind of like a letdown, but it did connect to another story that was interesting. So we can get to that video, and we'll come back. I'll try to find the Trump thing because it was one of those like 8-hour broadcasts, but only 30 minutes of it was an actual broadcast. Let's see here. But we can pull up that the video about Huntsville, Alabama, the other one from that Amy Eskridge.
Let me pull.
Are you guys familiar with Amy Eskridge? I'll just read this. This is from Dom Lucra, who posts a lot of wild stuff. And I don't think he actually put his watermark on this video. So there's progress. But this is worth reading. Footage of deceased anti-gravity researcher Amy Eskridge, who allegedly took her own life, is going viral for claiming that disclosure would come from Huntsville, Alabama. This is viral because President Trump just announced that Space Force Command HQ is moving to Huntsville, Alabama. It is also strange that the Marshall Space Flight Center is already located in Huntsville, Alabama as well. And before we press play, I just want to warn everybody, there's a lot of F-bombs in a short amount of time in this video.
Hell yeah.
But she's upset. Oh, wait, can we see what Ashton says actually in the bottom? I was thinking about Ashton, what he thought about this. He said, dang. I'm going to say dang. No credit for making this connection. I've been trying to tell people the U.S. has gravity manipulation tech and free energy, but people aren't really ready for that. So, curious. The first thing I thought of was Ashton Forbes and everything he talks about with the anti-gravity, free energy, the orbs. So, let's give a shout out to Ashton for making that connection, which makes sense. And then Dom for stealing it, which also makes sense. So let's listen to what Amy said before she passed away.
Disclosure is going to come out of Huntsville, Alabama, out of Redstone Arsenal. Redstone Arsenal in Huntsville, Alabama is the biggest fucking deal that you've never heard of. It's the biggest fucking deal that you have never heard of. Because the fact is that we have deep and wide, extensive credibility that no one knows about because you're not supposed to know about it. Because it's in Alabama, it's obscure. You're not supposed to know about it. That's the point.
People that know what Huntsville is. Amy
People
showed
know what Huntsville is? Is that what you're saying? People don't know what Huntsville is. Huntsville is the biggest fucking deal on the planet that you have never heard of. Now, like, Huntsville is the Silicon Valley of government national security technology and intelligence community technology and aerospace technology. Huntsville is like the hub. Like, we are number 3 on the first strike launch list.
All right. right off the bat, I gotta say she sounds like she's drunk or on something.
She does sound something. Or
But she's also articulating a lot of this completely okay for the most part. She's just got kind of like that drag slur and like, hey, I've been drinking for 6 hours before this interview, but
Yep. And since we're doing a character study, I do see a lot of people who are unhappy with Ashton in the chat. And you know, I enjoy talking to Ashton about a lot of the technology, but we have a different opinion about the orb video, which was what our first culture war together was mostly about that. Because I don't buy the video. It's kind of how I feel about the Epstein stuff. It's just like, why are you showing me this and why am I supposed to believe it? It doesn't look real. That said, I think Ashton he has helped bring a lot of stuff to the fore that, you know, he didn't originate, but he's helped people talk about on a bigger level things like the Lockheed Martin spy satellites. For those who didn't already know, I think that's a pretty good thing for people to understand just how insane it is. Everyone's worried about their phones listening, the cameras everywhere, but these global heat mapping satellites are nuts. And they're, you know, the things that are on them are insane. There's pictures of devils that say, better the devil you know. There's an octopus on one that says, nothing is beyond our reach. And certainly our government has been developing technology we don't understand, or we can't even fathom yet. So I enjoy those conversations. But like most people in this space, Ashton, people love him or hate him, but I always enjoy conversations with him. And but man, he does piss people off. He also pisses people off who I think should be pissed off. But anyway, let's go back to this.
If first strike happens, 3 targets, Huntsville will be one of them. Alabama. Alabama. This is Alabama dude in the deep south. We're in the top 3 first strike. We're in the top 3 first strike because you haven't heard of us. That's why. It's on purpose. I started the Institute for one reason. One reason, the Institute. I started it as a public-facing persona to disclose anti-gravity technology through, because I told Mark this. If you stick your neck out in public, at least someone notices if your head gets chopped off. If you stick your neck out in private, fuck you. They will bury you. They will burn down your house while you're sleeping in your bed, and it won't even make the news.
Well, I don't know how I feel about her. I haven't really done a deep dive. I do think the connection is interesting that she's making the disclosure. She's saying disclosure will happen from Huntsville, but also Huntsville is an epicenter of all of this stuff. So it wouldn't be like that far-fetched for that to happen. What do you think?
Right now I'm trying to navigate in my head the fact that this chick was just talking about basically getting killed for not being open about it, and she's open about it, and she's dead.
She is dead. Yep.
And that was they connected that to a suicide, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Allegedly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, we do know a lot of people who are whistleblowers. Look at the OpenAI whistleblower just at the end of last year, who went public saying OpenAI was doing a lot of weird, shady stuff. I think it was like unethical things, and I think it was about copyright as well. And they said that was a suicide, but that story doesn't make a lot of sense. And his family doesn't believe it. And all the cameras just miraculously stopped working before he died. And there was blood scattered all over the place and part of a wig. You know, and that's just one example. I don't know, but I do find it interesting. I do want to pay attention to Huntsville, see what's going on there as we shift gears to Huntsville, Alabama from Colorado. But that said, what do you guys think out there? You know, the phone lines, I believe, are they open? We got people. We want to get to you. And if you have a thought about your mind being erased, would you erase a certain memory? What do you think? Is that ethical? What do you think about the Epstein files coming out tonight? Do you care anymore? CNN said people don't care anymore. So, and I believe everything CNN says. And what do you think about this weird Huntsville, Alabama disclosure connection? Because next week, as far as I can tell, September 9th, there's a new committee hearing about UFOs and disclosure. So the timing seems like it's all adding up.
Is that happening in D.C.?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think there might be a Culture War show that weekend. I don't know if there's supposed to be a Penn State one, and then there's one in D.C., I believe.
Oh, sweet.
Or two in D.C. We're supposed to be doing another rock block of these things coming up, I think, in October. I think the 9th is one of the days.
We should convince...
Infiltration, Shane.
Yeah, I think we should convince the team to get us Anna Paulina Luna.
I need to find... Yeah, like
Eric
we need to find a
Burleson.
way to see if we can get into some of these meetings or something. Like...
It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough.
We gotta send the Cashman.
Yeah. You might have a better chance, honestly, than me. Because I say things that are too flagrant on Twitter that get me banned from places. So I certain stories I used to be able to write, I'm no longer allowed to write because I'm not allowed to be in certain places.
I mean, either way, they're background checking both of us.
Yeah.
So I guess it's really just a sense of who's fucked up more.
Yeah.
The guy who doesn't swear on the air or me.
Right.
who's always swearing and doesn't care.
It's true. We should try, though. I would love it. I do
That
want
would be
to try
cool.
to get there. I think it would be amazing.
Otherwise, we're going to have to send a lad.
Yeah, I can't trust him. He's an alien. Everyone knows he's an alien. It's not Israel, guys. It's Mars, where he's from. But let's get to some callers. It feels like it's been 100 years since we've taken phone calls.
It's been a few days.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how long I've been gone really, but it feels like 100 years.
Let's go to John Griffin. I believe he was first in here, if I'm not mistaken. John, you're on the show. What's up? He went from unmuted to muted.
See, where they all go is where I went.
That limbo?
Yeah, I was in the limbo. The basement limbo.
Hey, can you hear me?
There he is. What's up?
What's up?
Hey, well, I kind of did that on purpose. Renee is actually the one who has recommended I come on the show. She's actually the one who turned me onto this show, and I know there's a drinking game going on about unmuting your mic. So,
thank you, Renee.
You heard him, folks. Everybody better have taken that one.
Yep, drink. So I do have a thought on. It's funny because I had a story that I wanted to present, and it kind of goes with what you were talking about with the memory portion of it. So, I mean, my personal opinion, before I get into the paranormal aspect of it, is that. So I had a major situation that happened on my end. My brother Jeremy, who was we're both paranormal researchers, and we've been doing this for a long time. My brother Jeremy in 2021, he took his own life.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Oh, thank you. And it's weird from a paranormal standpoint because, this is something that we've lived through together. We did the research together, and so it's really a life aspect. It's really changed things on a how I perceive life and such. So for erasing for like a situation like that, I feel like as bad as it's been, the experience and such, I wouldn't erase that day. I wouldn't erase that memory, the things that we went through, because ultimately these last 4 years have really helped me grow in new ways and really helped define the direction I needed to head in life, and it's helped me motivate myself to get certain things done.
Yeah.
So, and I can't speak for all situations. Obviously, that's something that would really have to be delved into as to like different things that, different types of situations. So I can't say one size fits all.
Of course. I think there is something to being able to harness your darkest day and turn it into a positive. I don't want to say a positive really, because that's not what I mean, but you can grow from this. I've talked about the suicides I've had to deal with, and it's horrible.
It's definitely a plus in my opinion, having as much trauma as I had growing up.
Yep.
I found a way to channel that into wanting to make a comeback and come back and do the things that I didn't get a chance to do yet.
Yep.
And that was through just sheer force of will.
Yep.
The issue lies with the people that aren't able to turn some of these negatives into positives that ultimately succumb to this through, mental turmoil that turns to suicide, what have you. It's those people that I wonder if this is necessary for, to give those people a chance to live what's left of their lives.
Yeah.
As opposed to feeling like there's no out, other than just getting out of here.
And I just feel like how it could be good maybe if they can lessen it somehow, soften it somehow. But erasing it, like, again, it's going to be like, how does everyone in their environment...
Which it's interesting because the last thing that we heard that guy say was that they were trying to just take away or hit the molecules specifically that were triggering the chemical reactions in people that were causing the sorrow, the PTSD, things like that, leaving the memory intact, but not having any of the pain or fear or whatnot associated with said memory, which is interesting.
It seems a little shady.
It's kind of a bridge to both destinations, though, is it not? I mean,
Yeah.
you get to keep the memory still. It just doesn't push you over the edge when you think about it.
I think the pain is sort of somewhat necessary, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think so too. But maybe there's a lot of people out there that I'm sure don't.
Oh, I know. Oh, I'm sure. I think we're probably in the minority. But
Totally.
So after, when your brother took his life and you were able to, reflect on that and grow how you grew, you disagree with that, but you're saying that maybe some people might work for them.
Yeah, again, it goes back to that one size, the one size doesn't fit all, and I agree with the case scenario of, well, what if, for instance, my brother who where he ended his life, is it something within his memories that were coming back and haunting him that drove him to that, and if this was available, well studied and such, would that have changed the outcome? And so I was thinking about that as you guys were talking. But the other aspect I wanted to bring up, the paranormal route, because I was thinking all about this, was the whole mind manipulation, like the thoughts being implanted in your minds and such. And I know you brought that up, and there was a study that we were doing. So I actually. Shane, I had sent you a message back in August. You replied back. It was about Project Apparition Hall, which was a research project that we were doing, as well as a film. And there was one thing that came to mind as we did an experiment at a haunted location. This was back when my brother was alive. This was in 2020. And we did a sensory, well, it's called sensory deprivation, or the Estes method, so to speak. And we had two people that were blindfolded. And they had headsets on, they had white noise playing, and basically the experiment we were trying to do was more for apparitions, because Jeremy was using long exposure photography. We were trying to see if we could capture the manifestation process of an apparition, so keeping the lens open to absorb more light. And the interesting thing was that the first time we played we did kind of a game, because there was supposedly a child spirit up there. The first person who was doing the method, they called out a number, because it was basically 1 through 4. Where is the person hiding? One of our investigators. They got it right, but of course, one time doesn't mean anything. The next time, the other investigator was, they made a comment saying, I'm getting this vision of this male figure. They're angry. They look angry, and they're standing by the door, and they're clenching their fists. And at that point, Jeremy, we have it on video. Jeremy was taking a picture at that point. The lens stayed open for about a minute. When we went back through and looked at all the photos and then timed everything, during that period of time, Jeremy actually caught a significant photo, and it was of exactly what that person had described. So that was mind blowing in itself, self to me. And I'll send you that photo in a little bit today.
Cool.
To
Yeah, if you
your
can get it on
Instagram.
X, we can show it on the show if you want. If you
Yeah.
don't want it shown, we don't have to do that either. We can just check it out, but that's entirely up to you.
Oh, I don't have X right now.
Okay.
I mean, I could send. The only way I could do it right now is I could send it through the Instagram.
That's fine. And IG works.
I just sent it to you, Shane.
Or should I send it to you, Brandon?
Just tag me in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll see if I can pull it up.
And then on top of that, so this actually would lead into another set of photos, which is above the one, above the two that I just sent. They're two of the same photos. It's just one's enhanced. One of the other photos is from Project Apparition Hall that I sent about 2 weeks ago, and one of those 4 photos I sent you, Shane, is actually my brother Jeremy. He was the first one to appear during Project Apparition Hall, the actual first full-on experiment with it, and that was in 2022 that happened.
Wow, those are gnarly photos.
And we have a bunch of them. That's the Project Apparition Hall film that we're working. We only got to be able to do the pilot episode. The fundraiser fell through, unfortunately, but
well, I'll have you explain more when we have it pulled up, just so people can make sense of the green images with the red circles you made. Did you get them, Brandon?
I am still trying to get into my damn Instagram. I forgot how I set this up. I always use it on my phone. I've never actually had to like webify this damn thing. So,
but that's great. Where did you say you took these? Where were these taken?
So the first one, it depends on which was the
okay,
project.
Okay. The green one.
Let me take a look. So, the first one, the first green one, that was at Wildwood Sanitarium, and that's my brother. The next 3 are actually at a place in Pennsylvania called the Clifton Theater.
Okay.
The other one that I was making mention of for that one story, the last 2 I sent you, that's from Wilson Castle in Vermont.
Okay, gotcha. Crazy place.
Oh yeah,
Hopefully that pulled up soon.
place
Sorry
was...
for everyone listening. We don't have it up yet, but we'll get there. But this is wild.
Yeah, and we have a whole list of them. We've been making a lot of advancements, and I mean, I have to give credit to my brother. He was the one who started the initiative. Continuing the project, it's all dedicated to him. We've been working really hard, and it turned out, we just found out, we did a private screening of the pilot episode, and several of them, and it actually apparently saved a life. I had a person that pulled me aside, and
wow.
It came back full circle because, you know, I don't want to see people end their lives. I don't want to see that.
Mm-hmm.
I saw what it did to my parents, watching them bury their child. I know what it did to myself as a sibling.
Yeah.
And somebody that had seen the screening came up and said that it actually helped them. They I don't know if it was them or their friend that was with them that was going to looking to do the same thing, but they changed their mind.
Incredible. That's the best. I mean, to make something that if it just affects one person, that's amazing. I think that is a success. Incredible. So congrats on that. I think that's absolutely incredible and commendable. When you this process that you're walking us through of the white noise and the blindfolds, where do you learn such a process?
So, I mean, I learned that personally from another paranormal team.
Mm-hmm.
They had talked. I guess this has been something that's been going on. So I'm not like much of a. I'll be honest. The spirit box stuff. I'm really into like this. Like, even though I do go into the spiritual stuff, but I like to measure things.
Mm-hmm.
So they're talking about, white noise, so almost kind of using like a spirit box related thing.
Gotcha.
And then, so basically cutting off the senses and focusing on, feelings, visions, um, and it was partially, and I know this is maybe kind of a weird place that this comes through, but uh, I was raised as Christian. I went to Christian school all my life. So I've gone to the Bible, and I'm like, well, these people have, disciples and such. They've received visions. I'm looking at all these different things that there was communication through, and I'm like, I'm thinking about, okay, well, is this similar? Is this what's happening? Is that they're getting messages? I mean, of course, these messages could be from darker entities or what have you. So I mean, obviously, we're not 100% sure, but that's where kind of the thought process came in. I wanted to understand more about how they're getting the messages, how accurate the messages are. Is it just them? Are they being deceptive, or is it a spirit that's deceiving? So there's a lot of questions that we've been asking about it.
Do you have particular success in catching one of these images other than the ones you're sending us?
For Project Apparition Hall, yes, there's been, especially as of I would say August of last year. So just to put it, I don't want to bore anybody with stats, but when we did the original photos, the flash photos, it was 700 to 900 photos before we would get one unusual photo. With Project Apparition Hall, because I've been doing this 23 years now, where it's now 75 to 100 photos.
So you've found a way to whittle your process down to be more successful, and how do you determine success? You're seeing these apparitions in that little photos now?
We're seeing the apparition, so we're in what's called we're in phase 1 of this, and there's 4 phases. So we're looking if the numbers are declining, but now we're also putting together a system of how we're going to measure the quality of each apparition that's coming through, along with the different environmental factors like barometric pressure, humidity, temperature, electromagnetics, and such, and see if we can, bring it down even further, see what, different factors play a role, to see if we can bring the numbers down even further. Because when you really think about it, despite the fact that we went from 700 to 900 down to 75 to 100, when you look at the percentages, there's still approximately 98 point something percent of photos still don't have anything in them.
And how do you differentiate something weird in the photo as opposed to something that you believe is an apparition?
That's a good one. So basically, it's more. It has to be more defined to us. So basically, if it's, because I know with this there's a chance of pareidolia, or AKA matrixing.
Yep.
So right now, that's actually part of the process of us weeding through that. But we've gotten it to the point that, if it's more, it has to be more obvious to us. It has to stand out. And we have a 4-step process, which, I mean, it would take me a long time. We have a whole course on it. A 4-step process of how we review, whether it be the pictures themselves, the audio recordings, all that. It all goes through a 4-stage process. So basically, with each photo, and there was one session we took 900 photos. Each one of those photos is getting reviewed 4 times at least. And then on top of that, we have other people who are going to review it too. So we'll bring it to other members of our team. They'll look at it, and if they're seeing the same things as well, they're not told what's there. We just give it to them. No circles, no nothing. Here it is. If they're all seeing the same thing, then we start to question it further, and it still goes through a longer process. So even if other people see it, it's still going through the entire 4-stage process.
Gotcha. We're working on trying to get these photos pulled up, but Instagram is just being a jerk.
IG is being a total douche to me right now, but it's fine. I'm gonna have Shane get this stuff to me on X, and I'll bring it up
Brandon,
that way.
you can take over for a second while I try to figure out.
Yeah,
we were talking about. I don't know if I saw him. Brandon's over there furiously typing, trying to get this to work, dude, so we can show these people because the images are very interesting.
Yeah, they are. I got them on my phone. I've seen them too. I'm just trying to find a way to get it into my machine to get it visible for the rest of the people here. But these are pretty crazy looking. I'm not gonna lie. You guys probably already discussed the green ones. I'm interested in the silhouette of this guy that I'm seeing here in these other two, and it looks like you have one of these photos. Like, is it like overexposed or something like that to kind of show?
You're talking about the one that's like standing almost like at attention.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah. So the first one's more of we added a little bit, not added like enhanced it a bit, and then there was another one where I kind of made it more black and white so that it could be better seen. But the first one was where my brother, he is closer to the original, just enhanced a bit. He put it through his thing called raw therapy, and yeah.
So I sent you the photos on X, and we'll go through. I want you to try to describe just a few of these to people so that now that they can see them before we get to another caller. So right now, I don't know if there's a delay on your end, but we're looking at the black and white photo with, I believe this is your brother, right?
No, that's not him.
Okay. So who are we looking at here?
He's the one who took this photo, right?
Yes.
Okay.
That's Wilson Castle.
So who's
the
this?
main. I'm sorry.
So who's in this photo?
We don't know who that is.
Oh, okay.
So this was when the other investigator was saying, they were seeing a man, and they were clenching their fists, and this was the photo that Jeremy had taken during that time period.
Now this is interesting because behind this figure, there's kind of a trail of like wisp.
Yes.
Almost suggesting that he was walking through the room.
Well, that's the thing that Jeremy pointed out, and I feel really bad about this because I blew it off, because we were doing the whole if apparitions, if we're trying to capture the manifestation process, he was basically saying, here's the photo. And I just blew it off, and I was like, oh, who cares about that part? Look at the apparition. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, you see this little light going across towards the top, and if you notice, it looks like it expands just before you see the full apparition. And that's what Jeremy was saying. This is a big moment. We've taken thousands of photos, long exposure photos, and that's we finally caught that. But I find it very interesting about seeing that little light. And we've been trying to figure out, well, how long did it take for this to happen? Because the lens was open for an entire minute. And when you see it on camera, the place is pitch black. The room is pitch black. There's no electricity up there. So he's taken that in pitch black. It's open for a minute, and then lens closes, and that's what was caught.
And there was no one else in there. Like, this isn't this, because it looks like someone it looks like someone just walked on by, people watching are probably like, this is just, some trickery. But
so there were aside from Jeremy, two other people in the room, but they were behind. So there was one. There's a coffin up there. Go figure. Haunted location coffin, whatever.
Nice.
The person was in the coffin doing sensory. The other person was in the back of the room, and Jeremy and I were standing together when the photo was taken. That's more of the original.
This like pinkish one.
Yeah.
Which I see kind of. I do see some shadows kind of playing in here in a couple areas in this photo. You said this was the room that was completely pitch black dark?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, the entire third floor. So this is the entire third floor has no lights. It's the half of the second floor and the first floor are the only areas in the Wilson Castle that have any lights or electricity working.
Because the only thing that I'm noting here is just that it does look like there's light coming almost from like a front right position. There's a shadow cast on the floor. There's one in the corner of the door that's casting, and you can also see the light in this, at least in this shot, kind of entering the room behind him, but cutting off just in that area.
Yeah, it's something that I would have to show you the video.
Yeah.
That way you can actually see how everything was working.
Okay.
All right, and before I want to get to some other callers, but I just walk us through one of these green.
Yeah, what are we looking at in the
heck?
green photos here?
Sorry, it's a little slow on my end.
No, you're good. I'm basically just showing the 3 or 4 green photos that you sent
With
here
the red
from top to
circles.
bottom.
So one of them is, oh, there we go. So the first one there was is a theater. For some reason, there was a cat shadow, and then we see a black and white cat. There's no cat there. That bottom one there, all the way at the bottom, that's my brother. And the other 2 in the middle, those were 2 females that we had caught at the theater in the attic. And the interesting part about that place is that it used to be a theater where people used to put on plays. I mean, they do movies and such there now, but it used to be a place where they put on theater, put on plays and such.
That is spooky.
But
Crazy
that
lighting.
last one there, that's my brother Jeremy.
With that cat image.
No, this is just the one where it's him by himself, kind of off to the top left
What's
of
in
the photo.
What's in
There's
the
like
bottom right?
Oh, that was the bottom. Are you talking about where the red light is?
Yeah,
Yeah.
what is that?
Oh, that's just the EMF detector.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'm like, it looks like a cat. I have glasses on. I'm still blind. Sweet, man. Well, appreciate you calling in and sharing the pictures. I'm glad we were able to pull up finally. Sorry for the wait. And we will talk again.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Good night, man.
Goodbye.
All right. Let's get to another. That was good teamwork. You like that?
Yeah.
Instagram, Twitter.
Solid.
We made it work. Good job. Good
Yeah,
job.
no thanks to the Gram.
The Graham.
Jerk.
How are you guys doing out there?
How the hell
Are you
would you
drinking?
like to have a picture of your brother as a ghost? That's pretty creepy, man.
I've got some weird photos of my family. I don't know.
Are any of them ghosts in the photo?
They look like they could be ghosts. I think that's just.
They're still among the
I think
living,
that's
though,
just.
right?
Yeah, I think it's just in our DNA.
Man.
We just look creepy.
It's funny because when I do the dry runs for the show every day to make sure that nothing's broken, the person who sits in your seat is actually referred to as Ghost Shane because there's
Oh, yeah.
no one there. So I just put the camera on your chair, which is
no
basically what I
difference.
was going to do today if you didn't show up,
It's
you
no
know, because I
difference.
figured you were still gone. So
I'm glad I made it.
Ghost Shane's here.
I'm glad I made it.
Skin of your teeth, man.
Yeah, yeah.
I just opened the
Just
show.
made
He
it.
just comes busting in the door like Rick
unbelievable.
Moranis. You know, he's made a discovery.
Yep.
Man.
Shout out Rick Moranis.
Shout out Rick Moranis.
Let's get to another caller. Let's do this.
All right. We are going to go to A. Bez, who is also... Oh, nope, they just unmuted.
Hello?
Hello.
Sorry,
Welcome.
I was looking at something.
Oh, it's all right. Welcome to Inverted World Live. How are you?
Thanks. Good. How are you guys?
We're good.
Good. What's going on tonight?
I just wanted to comment on the whole flashy neutralizer Men in Black memories and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yep.
I just think that like there's no way that it's going to be sunshine and rainbows. They're going to use it to erase like a small or large population memory. At one time, it's like having a RoboCop. I mean, in the future, having AI or like RoboCop with a neutralizer is what I've kind of imagined. But
Yep.
Witnesses to live events. You know, exactly as it appeared in that movie, just being huddled into a small circle. Everybody look here. Flash. Okay, cool. You guys didn't see shit.
Yep.
Go back to your lives.
Man, it's actually a traumatizing scene in RoboCop when RoboCop remembers his memories of how he died.
Yeah.
It's almost as bad as actually when he's dying. I mean, it's crazy seeing the robot remember. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's going to be good. I think there's going to be major consequences. I think you're right. I think they're going to weaponize it against everybody. That's what all this stuff is used for. It's never really for good. It's always like, how can we use this against a lot
There's
of people?
always
at the same
ulterior
time?
motives.
Always. It's
Always.
never like, we just want to help people. If they say that, they're lying. Like,
or even like, if they make us, if AI like flashes our memory and, we forget who we are as a race, and we become slaves to them. We forget about God and all of that. What you could go on a million tangents. Anyways, I think our memories and our experiences make us who we are.
Yep.
The wisest people among us are the most experienced, have the most life experiences and all of that. So
yeah, exactly.
Anyways.
I totally agree. Totally agree. And like, we need to, unfortunately, it's impossible not to have darkness in your life. You're going to come across it one way or the other. I mean, there's some people who've avoided it for quite some time, and God bless them. But
do we not advocate for the people that have been through just so much that just don't want to do it anymore?
Yeah.
Like, is this where we advocate everyone must retain all of your memories and live all the most painful memories of your life, your entire life? You are stuck like this, or do we allow it for select few?
It's going to be tough to regulate. This is going to be something I think that people are going to debate in the future.
Because only you can choose what you're able to live with.
Yeah, but it's a form of a suicide pod, in my opinion.
Sure, absolutely.
And I think those shouldn't exist. But
I think we just need to be there for each other more. Maybe that's what we'll learn from all this.
I would love that. I would love that, but I don't think that'll happen either. I mean, maybe. Right. I'm trying to remain hopeful, and there'll be communities of people who are there for each other.
Always.
But as AI gets bigger and stronger, look how, everyone's telling me AI is going to make it so everyone's smarter and everyone's going to have everything at their fingertips. But like, we have phones right now, and everyone's more isolated and depressed than ever. Yep. So I don't think all of a sudden now that AI is here, we're just going to like, oh, we're all better now. It's going to get worse, in my opinion. So, people aren't going to just miraculously wake up with AI and be better people. It's a tool, and we should be able to use it to help us get better. But I think it's going to, you're talking about us forgetting who we are as a civilization. That will probably already happen to some, it's already been happening. But imagine the more we relinquish of skills and creativity, power, decision-making to the machine, the more we will forget who we are as a people. Just like how a lot of people don't really know what orienteering is anymore, or how to read a map. It used to be something most people knew how to do, and now everyone has to use the GPS or your phone. So it's going to be that. It's going to keep growing outside of that. We're going to keep forgetting how to do certain things, how to just be people, and we've outsourced everything that it means to be human to the machine, so that the machine now becomes, quote unquote, more human than we are. And we're stuck in our little apartments eating mush. I mean, not all of us. I reject that, and I don't want to be part of that society. But it does seem like we're going in that direction. I hope we can stop it.
Right. So anyways, on to my story. So I'm a nurse. I work in the pediatric ICU. So seen a lot, child abuse, drownings.
I can't imagine.
All the things. But the most, the hugest memory I have from my career about 10 years ago, I had a near drowning. So regained a pulse at the scene and then came to the ICU, but didn't know the downtime. And so rushed, him up to see what, get scans done and all of that to see what's going on. It wasn't looking good. And so at this time, my husband is an atheist. I was raised Catholic, more agnostic, leaning atheist, because that was just kind of our household. But we were just kind of a holiday Catholic, so just a few times a year.
Yep.
And so I'm in there with his family. They kind of understand that he's not going to survive this. He wasn't there long. They had a priest come in and read him his last rites. And I'm this patient's nurse being like Never had anything happen to me ever. But right as soon as the priest got done reading his rites, this little boy opened his eyes and then his heart rate went flat.
Whoa.
It was like my jaw dropped. I've never experienced anything like that in my life. And so I just like started looking for, just kind of, I was like, if I'm really going to be against this, I need to have like a good argument against it, and be able to defend my position, And so I found a podcast called A Christian and an Atheist. So it's a Christian pastor and an atheist who's a lawyer, and they're like best friends. And so it was hundreds of episodes of just very civil debate of just completely differing opinions. And it really, like, I would take pages and pages of notes, just like messing with these ideas up in my head. Anyway, so, I mean, now I'm a pretty devout Christian, after witnessing that. But anyways, yeah, that's the craziest thing that's happened to me. Next in line with that would be, we had a patient who was a teenager waiting for a heart transplant, and I don't know what happened. It was almost immediately after. I think they went to cath lab because there was a complication or whatnot. But she was not really with it when she went to cath lab, nor when she came back, and I think she had lost her heart rate in cath lab. But a week or two later, I mean, she's happy, healthy now, so a happy story. But she told all of us, like, who were all those people lining the hallways when I went to cath lab? And we were like, well, there was no one. It was the middle of the night. Wow. And after a conversation with her, we find out that the hallway was lined with kids. So it just gives me chills every time I think about it. But
what a job. My goodness. Yeah. God bless you. It is just, I spent some time in ICU, or in the NICU, and with our firstborn. And that was actually a moment for me when I was an agnostic, leaning agnostic. And it was a big moment of me being like, yeah, no, I think there's something else going on here, something way bigger. I mean, first of all, the NICU nurses, shout out to all the nurses. Nurses, and the nurses I had to deal with really kept my wife and I together for a very troubling first week of being parents. But we were blessed compared to some other people in there. And I saw a child, and this is going to be gruesome, so anyone can fast forward if they don't want to hear it, but it's true, and I wish I knew a follow-up for the child. But I saw a preemie roll right by my child in the NICU, and it had no skin, and I could look right through its body and see its veins and its blood. That was like unbelievable. And I saw another baby by the window that had been there for like 8 months, and the family doesn't visit. And here I was with our kid who was, we knew he was gonna be all right, but it was still it was pretty terrifying. We didn't know when we were gonna get out, and you feel like you're trapped, and it was horrible. That's why we did a home birth after all these experiences. But I mean, I'm still so grateful for the nurses that I met, and because I don't think our kid had to be in the NICU. I think the doctor was in. I'm going to reserve those words. I'm not going to say them out loud, but the doctor wasn't so nice, but the nurses were great. And the NICU, I definitely felt closer to God with those kids. And it was just crazy. So I can't imagine what you have to see, but we hear those stories all the time about people who have been under, like, in a surgery or in a coma, and they've had sort of out of body experiences, and they've seen things that happen in the hospital that no one else has seen. And it's pretty wild stuff. Those are really crazy stories. What was it like in the room when the kid opened his eyes during those last rites?
Well, it was just me, his parents, him, and the pastor. And I mean, there was no like change in feeling or sense and anything like that. I think, but for me, I was probably more shocked, and not even probably wouldn't even be open to anything like that, even if there was a subtle anything going on, just because I was so shocked. And But yeah.
Yeah. Well, I really appreciate you sharing those stories. Thanks for calling in.
Yeah. But I think just like with nursing it too, like it gives me a perspective because I have 3 kids and I have 2 grandkids. And so like, I just like appreciate them so much more.
Yep.
Because I see the other side of it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely. It was a weird way for us to become parents that first week and spend it in the NICU, in the dark, NICU, in the cold NICU. But it like instilled in us just this profound feeling of being blessed. Even though at the time I had a hard time saying something like that, but you couldn't deny that feeling and leaving that place. And thinking about like the nurses were angels taking care of those kids, those babies that had some of them, no family visiting. So it was just their family was the nurse and the tubes connected to them. It was just unbelievable. So, man, God bless you.
Absolutely. You guys have a good night.
Thank you. You too.
You too.
Bye.
I haven't thought about that NICU in a long time. That's a great, man, pediatric ICU. Goodness, you were in one. Right? How
I don't know if it was pediatric because I was 4, but I was in a children's hospital for a pretty good amount of time, and then in and out of one for years and years and years after that. And I think it was Children's Hospital in Chicago. I still remember my doctor's name, actually, Dr. Starr. She was a badass. They did so much for me. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
I would not be sitting here right now if it weren't for them. So seriously, hats off to all the people that do that job. Because they definitely gave me a second chance at life. So I appreciate them. And I was actually, and I think I've talked about this on the show before, but I was actually noted coming out of or going into anesthesia, actually seeing a man on the ceiling. I was quoted by my mother, who said that I kept talking about a guy that was on the ceiling that was in the room with us.
Great.
And I'm like, why the hell is this guy, tell this guy to get off the ceiling. Why is he up there? And she's like, Brandon, there's no one up there. And I'm like, Mom, I'm looking at him. He's like, he's up there.
Definitely so.
And I don't really, I barely recall this. I don't actually remember seeing somebody there so much as it seemed like I knew he was. And maybe they just had me really doped up.
Yeah.
That's what I like to think it was. But no, it was, I don't think it was Jesus, Renee. Thank you. But it was more like horror movie-ish. Like it just felt like did you ever see the movie Dune when they poison the Baron and he's just floating up in the corner, when they come in and they're all like, oh, that's kind of more what it was like. It was more like a terrifying thing, not like hey, it's Jesus, I'm here. You guys are you're gonna be okay. I don't think it was that, but yeah, man.
It's wild. It's so wild.
Hospital drugs, man.
Yeah, they're no joke. My goodness, what a crazy story. Let's get to another caller.
Yep.
Let's do it.
In the meantime, everybody make sure to click that like button, smash the living hell out of it, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff for the algo. We appreciate it. Thanks to everybody for hanging out tonight, all of our callers. We're going to try to get to a couple more people before we get out of here for the night. It is great to have Cash Daddy back in his chair, even if that's not him over there. He's wearing the same clothes. But then I guess so is Joe Biden, right?
That's right.
So next up, we are going down the line in order tonight because I don't get to do that very often. And I figure 101 is a clean slate. So let's go to Jeffrey Beans, our South Side Chicago correspondent. Who is likely whittling a dance floor out of beechwood right now in his garage.
I'll bring it on.
Hey,
What's
there
up,
he
boys?
is.
Hello,
What's
hello.
up, man?
What's good?
Yeah.
He's gone full Fred Durst mode on us, ladies and gentlemen.
It's just one of those days.
Oh, fuck. It's late enough for the F word.
Yeah, no, you're fine.
Also, I feel like I have to jump on the obnoxious Brandon grenade because I would do that for you, buddy. So,
Oh, hey, that's fine.
Yeah.
That was just a nod back to one of the only hateful comments I've received in my time here, and I was like,
Oh, there'll be more.
I'm gonna
Don't
completely
worry.
quote this one on the intro to the show. I think it's gonna be great.
You should.
So that was fun. You know me, I got to be a smartass every chance I get.
Yep.
Yeah.
I print them out. I love it. I love it.
Well,
I wrote it on a damn cue card.
Brandon, just real quick.
I'm gonna frame this
Let's
thing.
hear it.
Back in 2016, I believe it was, there was a phenomenon known as Pokemon Go.
Yes,
And
I remember
Brandon
it well.
and I were roommates at the time. I I was a cell phone salesman and that matters for the story. And I was trying to get Brandon to play Pokemon Go with me because I was 26 years old.
My goodness. My goodness.
And,
I'll reserve.
I think I told him something along the lines of "Go to stupid hell."
And he said he didn't want to because he was afraid of the game watching his phone.
Hey, great.
And I said, dude, they've been watching you since you got since you like activated it, literally.
Yeah.
You don't think the surveillance state started with Pokemon Go? That's where the whole thing.
I don't think it started with it. I think
that was the beginning of individual surveillance.
Yeah,
I think so.
I think it continued with it because we already had it after 9/11.
We did.
We definitely had it in full force after 9/11.
Dude, I probably had my own task force. You know, the small one.
A room of people just listening to your calls specifically because they know there's good shit in there.
Just listening to some
That's why I
grown
stare
men
into the
talking.
camera when I'm having some time alone.
Grown men talking about chasing Charizard.
Oh, like, holy shit! He finally caught a Vaporeon. Check this out, guys.
Wait,
you
what?
know, I win the pool. That's a Pokemon.
I don't know what that is. I don't know anything about. I know Pikachu.
Yeah.
That's about it. I know and Charizard.
Yeah, he's like
Charizard.
He's like the
Vaporeon is like an EV evolution variant.
You're talking hieroglyphics now.
All right.
That's enough. That's enough of that, man. Hold on.
And my parents said I would grow out of it. Yeah. I got news for
I
you,
can't
Mom and
peep
Dad.
the show, but I believe I requested a certain graphic. Is that engaged? Am I John Voight from the movie Anaconda or not?
Wait. Hang on a second. Where did this request come in? Did I see this?
That was like the first thing I said last week.
That you wanted to
because that
have
guy
a graphic put up for your face every time you call in. That's just that guy.
Yeah,
from
like
Anaconda?
that guy looks as much
Give him
like
the
me
girl.
as he does.
Give him the girl.
Yeah, I could just
Is this better?
flip you to
All right.
to
Well,
this.
I can't.
We
if
just
I
we
hop
just
over to the
trans
show,
we
it
just
messes
trans
with this.
Jeffrey.
I'm on my- What's that?
We just transed you. You're now
You're a woman now.
Sweet.
You'll be a
All right.
woman soon.
Beautiful silhouette.
So for the memory erasure, right?
Yeah.
Like I heard Brandon softly advocating for it.
Only
but-
a little bit for those people I know that really just have
It's hard.
such fucked up lives that they can't handle
It's
it.
hard to define how that will work, but I can understand and I can sympathize.
I
But it's not-
understand, and I can sympathize too. Brandon knows I got plenty of memories I'd love to not memory, but that also makes you who you are.
Yeah.
And like when you're playing, it's like playing God, and it's like every time you play God, it goes bad. Like communism is playing God with the economy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that always goes well.
Yeah.
And it's so forth. Like when you Jurassic Park. Let me bring that up again, right?
Classic.
Yeah.
Because what happens when man destroys God?
Yep. We shouldn't be meddling with these forces. I think it's going to be, if they can actually pull this off and they can sell it to people that we can take out a certain memory like it's Eternal Sunshine, people are going to want to sign up for sure. And I don't think that will be good for society.
Did you see that video of Ariana Grande at like
Grand.
Yeah, that's her name, man. Grand.
Let's take out the
Ariana
ethnic part.
Van
Yeah.
Damme.
No, a video of her doing what now?
I don't know.
No, she was at some event,
Oh, yeah.
some
I know what you're talking
with
about.
some red carpet event, and they asked her about something, and she's like, "Yeah, I don't remember." And then she mentioned specifically the name of the memory erasure place, like New Beginnings Clinic or whatever the hell it's called in the movie. She mentions the exact clinic from the Eternal Sunshine movie, and she's like, "No, they actually erased my memory." And she does not look like she's kidding, dude.
Yeah,
Like
I've
I've
watched
seen
it.
her acting; she's not that good.
I've watched it a few times. Sometimes I'm like, it seems tongue in cheek, but sometimes it seems like she just seems created in a lab for sure, like a
Dude,
pop star David.
Yeah,
Her
Bowie.
comedy is not that sophisticated.
No.
I guarantee you.
No, and there are. Have you seen Jim Brewer talk about how Dave Chappelle? He believes Dave Chappelle is kind of cloned. It's
Yeah, so
pretty
does like his
intense.
sister or something too, right?
Oh, I don't know about that.
His sister is, I think it's maybe his cousin.
Interesting.
Yeah, like literally, there's members of Dave Chappelle's family that don't believe Dave Chappelle is Dave Chappelle.
He did come back different, and I am a huge Chappelle fan. I like
went to
Chappelle a
Africa.
lot. He did go to Africa and he did come back different. Now he's jacked. But But it's weird, Jim. He's not effing around. He really believes.
He looks like he has Cushing's disease.
Yeah, I mean, and then who's the other one? I was
So
gonna
does
say?
Kanye, kind of.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Was Kanye went away and he came back a little weird too. The explanation with that could be the nitrous. You know, that's been.
I used to do a fair amount of nitrous, buddy. It doesn't give you Cushing's.
I mean, he had a dentist living with him, pumping him up with nitrous every day.
Okay,
Like
that's
they were
pretty
saying,
awesome, but,
they were saying his brain might be totally like eroded from it. And this was reported on, and you know, Milo put out a lot of stuff about it because he was close to it and he knew about the dentist. And there's a whole investigation. Yup, with the dentist and all this stuff. That there's a ton of articles about it, and them saying how it messes up your brain. I think even Kanye saying his brain is not right, and it's not.
I would be inclined to agree with Kanye.
Yeah, it doesn't
because it's not oxygen, and you breathe it.
You should not be messing with that stuff. You should not be messing with it.
I mean, is there anybody else that we would even consider having had this done other than rich celebrities? People that have the money to go in and have this done, or, you know, because I mean, like the rest of this, they said that they've been, you know, this guy claims that they've been testing on people for at least the last 8 years.
You're talking about the mind eraser stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't think we should be promoting it all. Maybe we do make it. Maybe we make every politician forget their memory, and then after that, who cares?
Especially with how good the AI video stuff is getting now, you could just make a whole new life for somebody.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
If you have the money to pay for the rendering or whatever.
Yeah, and that's what like the Ray Kurzweil types. They want to be able to upload themselves and then download their consciousness into something else, and then they can keep doing eugenics to their consciousness and being like, okay, you know, we can make ourselves better in a new skin, but also take out that memory from when I, like, you know, embarrassed myself in front of my 5th grade class with my science fair project, or take out this memory of embarrassment. And then trying to whittle down, I almost spit in the microphone. I'm so mad at Ray Kurzweil. I hate saying his name, but they can keep doing that as a transition from one body to the next to create their ideal specimen. And that's how they see the future. They see it as like an open, no consequences, endless time for experimentation.
Well, Shane, let's say you want to forget a memory about how you shat your pants at Niagara Falls.
I would never want to forget that. That's already sounds hilarious.
Hell yeah!
But I'll play.
Let's just say it was traumatic.
Yep.
And you're like, that's a life-changing event for me. I need to forget that so I can become whole. And would they have to like go and like look through all the pictures and like try and identify everybody in the background and like all your cousins that were there and like your best friend from when you were 7 who you haven't seen in 40 years? Just in case you come across one of them in the grocery store.
Yeah, it depends on like the payment plan and like which level you're getting, because you could probably get the cheap version that takes away just like immediate.
This is where we get into Michael Douglas in the game,
right?
Basically,
right.
I feel like I did see that movie.
The game was when he was basically set up by his brother. His life was extremely boring. They basically introduced chaos to this man's life to the point to where they made him commit suicide at the end of the movie, but even his suicide was planned for, and he ends up jumping off of a building, crashing through the glass in like the main lobby of a hotel, and there's a freaking giant pillow there to catch him, and all of his friends and family are there with champagne glasses celebrating because that's the end of the game for him. And this guy just hit the lowest point of his life moments before this to wake up and find out it was a paid for just Ponzi scheme that they played on him and screwed with his whole life. Oh, hey, sorry, dude, it was a joke. Did you have fun?
Unbelievable.
Like, what?
Dude, remember the last scene of the movie where he's like looking around and then I forget what it was. He sees like a thing that's like a symbol that they use. And he's like, is the game over? I don't know. Fuck me.
Yeah.
Like,
and it all starts out with a creepy ass doll that's watching him in his living room.
Good. It's also how Inception ends. Inception ends with the I was gonna say dreidel, but it's not a dreidel.
Is that just where your mind goes? You just automatically go to dreidel.
My Mossad handler just implanted a voice in my head say dreidel out loud, but it spins and you don't know. You know, it doesn't fall. You know.
The word of the day, boys.
Dreidel.
Dreidel.
That's
dreidel.
It. Everyone drink. You have to drink.
Dreidel is an official drinking.
You have to drink
drinking word.
A bottle of Manischewitz.
I don't want to take up too much time today, guys. I got a bunch of stuff on my mind, but I'm only going to do one more.
All right, let's hear it.
Because it's happy. No, it's not. It's not happy at all. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I said that. But
bring it on.
I heard a quote in the last couple days, and I forgot where I heard it, but it was, "It's better to be an optimist and wrong than to be a pessimist and right."
Yeah, I mean, depends on the industry you're in, I guess. You know, Alex Jones is well, this is a whole debate today. Yeah. No, I love that. I love that. You know,
that's a fair statement. Yeah.
I like it.
Well, I mean, as far as how you're going to spend your time, right? Unless your time is preparing because you're a pessimist and right. But
you can be
that's the caveat.
But you can be a doomsday prepper who everyone made fun of forever, and then lockdowns happened, and you're like, I've been waiting.
See, but as an avid pessimist myself, I'm always planning on being right. That's why I'm a pessimist in the first place.
Yeah.
You know what Brandon's biggest fear is?
Oh yeah, let's hear it.
You know what it is?
I want to enter this into my AI program.
You remember this, Brandon?
I don't even know what my biggest fear is, so please let me know.
Getting hit by a meteor.
Really?
Shit.
That's what you used to say. I don't know if you were just being funny or
no, dude. You're actually right. In 5th grade, we were asked what our biggest fear was, and I listed on mine getting hit in the head by an asteroid/meteor.
Wow. And our next guest is A31AB,
and we have
probe.
And
Mula.
We'll get into it after this call for just a brief second, but we have things like this happening. No one who was struck in the head, but I think we do have an update on the home that was struck by a meteor that came through the roof and almost hit somebody. So,
okay. So as far as the optimism, I guess, and me and Shane seem to have the same obsession with like the nature of the elites, like those that run everything, who we know are pedophiles and do like weird rituals and stuff and worship weird old gods and stuff like that. Is that accurate?
Yeah, we're surrounded by demons.
Right. So, and it's like every like major center of power, every government aligns with the pedophiles and protects the pedophiles, like to an absurd degree. Is that fair?
It seems that way.
So, like, did you ever see the movie 13 Ghosts?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Multiple times.
It's like a classic horror movie thing, Shane. If you haven't seen it, spoiler alert again on a movie from like 2001 or something. But
that's pretty old.
It's like, you know, a group of young people, their car breaks down or whatever, and they go to they find themselves in this house, and then there's like mythical monsters hunting them, like a guy with a big sword, like a big Final Fantasy sword, and I remember there's like centaurs and shit, like there's all kinds of wild shit going on.
Mm-hmm.
And every now and then they cut back to like this command center where there's people watching all of it happen on screens, and they all have like ties on, and they all look very corporate.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like a pool, there's like a board in the corner where they all got a pool about how they're going to die. Is it going to be mermaids? Is it going to be a scarecrow? All kinds of spooky stuff, right? And then at the end of the movie, basically you find out that they're like a secret organization who has to do this. They have to successfully sacrifice people who conform to certain archetypes, like the Virgin and the Jester and stuff like that. And they have to sacrifice once a year these people, and they have to use these monsters to do it. And the reason they have to do it is to keep like these ancient gods at bay who would otherwise wreak havoc on the earth and kill everybody. So I wonder if the elites, and the reason that they are so allegiant to the pedophiles, is if it's a situation like that where they don't necessarily want to do it, but they have to do it so everybody doesn't die.
I think that's a positive outlook. I think they like it. I think they feed off human suffering. I think they partake in it because it's part of what they would think of as a natural resource. That's all they see us as a food source. I don't think there's anything good about them. I think they pretend as if they're doing what is meant for their greater good, but they hate us, and any type of quote unquote good they do is for themselves. And yeah.
So how do you like? I know there are lots of people that are in the bloodlines, right? Like the 7 bloodlines that like every president and king of England and almost every single ruler in the last 500 years has belonged to. But if you're like a JD Vance, like some dude from Ohio or Iowa or whatever boring place he's from, you know, there's all kinds of stuff coming out that he appears to be groomed. So like, if you're not part of one of those ancient bloodlines and groomed from the time you're a kid, then how do you become if you're just like a guy, like become one of those people who are so filled with hate and evil and demonic intentions?
It really does seem like a large population of these people are born into the fold, and groomed from a very
George
very young
Dubs
age,
and,
obviously.
G-Dubs and Obama are like third cousins or something.
Yeah. Clinton and Trump are far removed cousins as well.
Yeah, like the last like 20 presidents have all been related to each other technically.
Yeah, it's crazy. Well, I have a lot more I want to say about that, but I want to try to get to another caller before the end of the night, dude.
Yep.
All right, thanks for calling, guys.
We're gonna come back. I'm gonna Jen Psaki circle back to JD Vance. I got a lot to say about this guy. I mean, I've said a lot, but we'll get into him maybe tomorrow. So thanks for reminding me. See you later, dude.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, Jeff.
Let's see who else we got before we somehow close out the night. It's I don't even know how it's 11:50. Insane. Yeah, I see you guys talking about Alex Jones and Owen Schroyer. That I hate to see it. Owen's the only person there I don't know. I've been to InfoWars a few times. Those guys have all been great. But Owen's the one I don't know him, but the other guys are awesome too. It seems like they're going through it, man. Can't imagine. You know, we've seen our own public spats happen over here over the years, and it's never fun to watch, you know, your friends have a falling out. But Alex and Owen, man, two greats. I respect them both, and I hope it ends better than the last I saw was Alex going to town on Owen. So,
yep. We're gonna try to get one more caller in.
Let's do it.
Again, we're going down the line today, so this is straight order.
Did I say Owen Benjamin? I didn't say Owen Benjamin, did I? Because I feel like now I did, but I meant to say Owen Schroyer.
You might have?
I might have. So sorry if I said Owen Benjamin. It's Owen Schroyer and Alex Jones. And Owen, for those who didn't watch, he quit InfoWars last night, and then Alex went and responded today, and it's just drama. We should be talking about other stuff. We should be doing the work and focusing on stuff. But you know, it's heated. It gets heated. But let's try to do one more caller.
Yep. We're gonna go to Dev, who is next in line.
Right.
But Dev he's got a mic now. Dev, what's up? Hey, can you hear us?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we got about 10 or so minutes. You got anything you want to talk about?
I was just going to go over like that, like memory hole stuff. So like, you guys were talking about the like the Men in Black stuff or whatever.
Yep.
Like, so you can like if you like even just like compounding things in your mind, they want us to be like engulfed in all of this news so that we like memory hole all of these things so that we like forget about it, kind of like using like a Men in Black type deal on us. I think, does that kind of resonate with you guys?
We're being overstimulated with the distortion of news, so it's like I can tie this back to Alex Jones and InfoWars. InfoWars is that, right? The name InfoWars. That we're in information war because they are attacking us with an onslaught of information nonstop. And there's really no escaping it because it just comes down to what your media diet is and what you're caring about, what you're reading, who you trust. and it's impossible. You know, everyone has an angle, everyone has their bias, and everyone is vying for your attention, clickbait, sensationalism. But I think they do count on you being beaten over the head with the news and then forgetting about it. And then it's like, well, wait, we did tell you this. And it's why someone like Alex and Owen and Chase and Harrison and all those guys over there, if you watch their show, you know, and they give you that overhead view of their desk, it's littered with all the articles they want to talk about. And so when people say, you know, Alex is a prophet, how do you know this is going to happen? What he has said publicly before is like, I just read all this stuff. So he's got all these things out before him. He's like, they just said this, you know, and no one read it, or they forgot about it. And it was clear as day. Here it was. And then, you know, 5-10 years later, everyone's shocked that something happened. And Alex is like, well, I read the CNN article. It was here the whole time. And, you know, most people don't have time to go through all that news and be like, you know, as schizophrenic sounding as some of us sound who deal in the insanity of the media sphere every day. But,
right, dude, because what's real? What's real?
Yep.
You know?
Yep. It's becoming harder and harder to tell. You know, I do believe there is a real objective world out there, but they've buried it so far beneath so much of this bad news and lies that, you know, it's nearly impossible to tell. And now with AI, it's going to get way harder because they're just going to keep pumping out new realities in the favor of their narrative.
Yeah. So like Sam Tripoli has a good like motto or phrase for that, and it's like they want you to like not trust the wisdom of your eyes, your ears, and your experience, the wisdom of your experiences.
Yeah.
And that's desynchronizing basically your senses from you. So like you're like willing to be willing to accept the nonsense. So like I think they test us with things like the Epstein files and things like that, because like they want to see how aware we are as the public. And like I think something happened in like from like 2019 to 2021 where like a lot of people just really like were fed up with it and don't like are not accepting the narratives that they're trying to force us to be programmed to be indoctrinated by, like with the older generations with like Israel. And I understand like how people could be like upset with like because we like helped establish that country or whatever, but like it's crazy to me that like as a consensus you can come to a conclusion that like they're like committing a genocide over there, like by definition. But like even further than that, I even go as far as to say that they're committing a Holocaust against the Palestinian people because of what it entails by definition, dude.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, hurt people, right?
Right.
It's like the human nature to you always become the thing you hate. And here we are watching atrocities happen. I mean, look at us.
It's like a
we do
ritualistic thing on a mass scale.
And then that's a perfect example of, you know, what reality you're choosing to buy into. Because you can look up some journalists who say the complete opposite. And now you and me, we are, you know, hateful for seeing it another way,
anti-Semitic,
which is insane.
Or something like that.
It's insane. It's like the whole calling people misogynist, and that people used to care about that word, or calling people racist.
Me Too movement,
Me Too, BLM.
A lot of it.
Those words mean nothing.
There are no grassroots movements, bro. There are none. Like even back in the 70s when the hippie movement, that like the Haight Ashbury Clinic and like all of that stuff that they're doing. I just got copies of Weird Scenes Inside the Canyon and Program to Kill.
Yeah, dude.
And
it's crazy, right?
It's I've only got through to like where Strange Scenes first starts, and just like the preface or whatever, and like the introduction is just mind blowing.
Just
and
you
that
wait.
Picture,
dude. I was just saying, just you wait. Like we were just talking about JD Vance. I think he's like he's been groomed. I think he's a plant. I don't trust that dude at all. Never did. You know, I don't care if he's so eloquent. I don't care. He's hillbilly Obama. Like, and they're both fake to me. Like, but you go and read that book. Go finish that book and find the parts where they're talking about creating Robert Mitchum. Hollywood used to create. I mean, used to. They still do. They create characters.
That's what they do, man.
That's all they do. This is all this is. It's all fake. I mean, it's real people. There are some real people left in the world, but it's like dead internet theory, but it's in the real world. You know,
right.
It's like
and
bots.
like, go ahead.
No, that's it. I was just saying, it's like we're dealing with real life bots. It's NPCs.
Yes, that is correct, man. Like, and it like really like that's what made me go crazy. It wasn't that I was like, because I'm the dude that like was talking about doing the meth and shit. It wasn't the meth that made me go crazy. Like, it was literally like seeing all of this on an outside point of view, and then like doing that shit made me go crazy. But yeah, because of like what I knew, like that's one of the reasons I got sober, because like I had to like sober myself up to like be like aware of what was really happening, and like what I was researching into was reality, because I could not fathom how depraved and nasty these people are, man.
Yeah, man.
They'll do whatever they can.
And they're everywhere. And it's an ancient evil strain that's been here since the fall of man, and
that's
it will
it,
continue.
man.
And we are just constantly fighting it and making ourselves better as best as we can be, because that's what we're here to do, and make the next generation more equipped, better equipped to fight it. But I appreciate you calling in again, man. Good to hear from you. And
Heck yeah.
Until next time.
Yeah. Have a great night, guys.
You too.
Yeah, or over medicating the entire population of our country so that they don't experience what is actually going on.
Exactly. And he was making me think of like, I was trying to find the quote from that New Zealand Prime Minister when she said during COVID, like, we are the truth now, basically. We are the authority and the truth. Like, these people hate you. They want you to just believe the slop, so you do anything for them. But I'm just seeing, do we miss anything here before we sign off? Somehow
the monkeys have been burned.
The monkeys have been burned. That is true. Jay said the fake clouds are real. That is right. The fake clouds are a very real scourge. You got to take care of those. Still haven't seen any addresses from the Oval Office about the fake clouds. That's what I voted for. But we'll see. Brandon, let them know where they can find you.
You guys can find me, as usual, at Brando Inverted on Insta and on X. Thank you guys all for hanging out. We're happy to be back for a shorter week with the holiday. Hope you guys had a great weekend. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, all that good shit with all of your friends. And don't forget to stay weird. I will see you guys tomorrow. Shane, wrap us up.
Find yourself an anchor in this dark reality and hold on to it as we drift through this chaos. It's good to be back. Thank you guys for joining us. This was a great episode of Inverted World Live. Thank you to our callers. Thank you to the commenters. Thank you for everyone for liking and subscribing. Thank you for everyone who has put my face on a milk carton and posted it onto Twitter.
Classic.
Asking where I went. I have been found, and it's good to be back. See you guys. Have a good night.